Yeah, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Helena. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the She Loves Tech Cambodia 2020 Virtual National Page. We have an exciting program for you today. So we hope you can stay and join us. Sorry, one second. Thank you. Again, good afternoon and welcome to the She Loves Tech Cambodia 2020 Virtual National Page. I am not sure what's happening. Let's just try this.
I guess you have some computer that is on close to you.
Hold on. No. Right. So maybe we'll just kill this one. All right. What is happening? Sorry, we have this like mystery voice coming. Shall we try again? Yay. So fifth time is a charm. Let me go all the way back then. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the She Loves Tech Cambodia 2020 Virtual National Page. We have an exciting program for you today, and we hope you're able to stay with us for the entire 2 hours of the event. We will begin with a quick introduction to She Loves Tech by Lena Roberts, co-founders of She Loves Tech. And we've been working with Lena and Helena and Ria and the entire team for the last 3 months, and we can't wait to introduce them to our community. They've been incredible to work with. Our startup pitching and the Q&A session will be about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Please stay hydrated, have some snacks on hand, and cheer on. After the startup pitching, we will have a fireside chat hosted by Lian and Jayantaka Soni. So Jayantaka is actually the winner of Singapore round in 2019. She was with us at the information session for She Loves Tech in early August. And unfortunately, we only had 10 minutes with her then. Today, we're so keen to have her back for a longer discussion and chat. And we hope to hear all about her experience as a finalist at She Loves Tech Global Startup Competition. Last but not least, please get yourself champagne or any beverages of any description that you like, can be tea also, for around 5 o'clock, because we will announce our winner then. My name is Penila, and I am the community manager at Raintree, as well as the lead organizer of She Loves Tech Cambodia. For those who are new to our project, Raintree is a creative workspace that is designed for collaboration. So we support the growth of organizations and individuals in our professional communities through a few different ways. So firstly, we support fast-growing Cambodian startups and high-impact organizations through our workspace. Secondly, we give back to our professional community through our curated events and programs such as Coding Cat, I Am Remarkable, as well as now She Loves Tech Cambodia. Lastly, we contribute to discussion about technology and education sector through research. Case in point is the Cambodia Tech Startup Report, which was released early last year. So research has shown that diversity and inclusion is good for business. So So it is good for your organizational culture, and it is good for your bottom line. So improving diversity and inclusion is particularly important in a sector that are traditionally dominated by men, such as technology. And this challenge is not unique to Cambodia, and our friends across the globe who are working in tech can also share with you very similar experiences. As such, we are very excited to collaborate with She Love Tech to organize the first ever She Love Tech startup competition with so many partners who've been making strides and making progress to improve diversity and inclusion in the tech space, including MPTC, Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, Ministry of Economy and Finance, Khmum Enterprise, and the global Shapers community. We also would like to thank 606 and Focus Cambodia, who are media partners and make everything much more merrier than we could ever do by ourselves. So She Love Tech is designed to accelerate the most promising woman-led and woman impact startup in our world today. But a lot of us know She Love Tech as this competition, right? The local round and the national round. There's so much more to She Love Tech beyond what many of us here, at least in Cambodia as an early market, know about She Love Tech. Therefore, I would like to invite Lian Roberts, co-founder of She Love Tech, to the stage to introduce to us what this program is all about and to officially kick off the Cambodia national page. Lian, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Pinky. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the very, very first She Loves Tech global startup competition that we're doing in Cambodia. I'm so excited to have everyone here today, and we're in for a real treat. I'm really, really excited to hear all the startup pitches, and also you have such an esteemed panel of judges that we will introduce in a little bit. So I thought that I would tell you a little bit more about She Loves Tech for those of you who don't know that much about us. Well, we are the world's largest startup competition and accelerator program for women and technology. You know, Pinky mentioned a little bit about what we are known for. We are known for this startup competition, but we are so much more than that. She Loves Tech really aims to seek out and accelerate the best women tech entrepreneurs and women-led technologies that create transformative impact. We want to be the bridge that connects women and technology. And we really believe at She Loves Tech that without women, we can't solve some of the world's greatest challenges. So this is what we primarily do. We have our competition that then culminates in our global conference that will happen in actually the 21st and 22nd of November this year, where we invite speakers from all over the world. Some of our speakers have included Leslie Goh, who is a CTO of the World Bank Group, and she's the very first CTO and a female CTO of the World Bank Group. Also, Jane Sun, who is the CEO of C-Trip. We've had William Lee, the founder of NIO, which is self-driving cars in China, and many, many, many more. We have our education piece that really is a core component to what She Loves Tech is about. And during, when people come through She Loves Tech, we really want to help you to overcome all the different challenges that you face in the startup journey, and really to take your business, to take your startups to the next level. And of course, we are also primarily a community and ecosystem that supports entrepreneurs through our network of investors and partners. In total, She Loves Tech has had now over 5,000 startups come through our doors, and our startups have raised more than 150 million USD in funding. This year, we're so excited to announce that She Loves Tech is operating in over 30 international locations all around the world and across 6 different continents. So these are just some of the countries that we are in, and we're so excited because Cambodia is this year is the very first year that we're partnering with Raintree on this. I've known Zoe now for a very long time, for about 15 years. And I am so happy that we are doing something together and that we are bringing She Loves Tech to Cambodia and just increasing the help that we provide to women tech entrepreneurs in Southeast Asia. So we're so happy to be doing this with Raintree, who have been fantastic to work with Zoe, with Pinky, with Nora and the team at Raintree. Pinky is going to be introducing our judges in a bit, but I'm so excited to have them with you today. Quite a few of them I consider as friends, and you really, really are in good hands today. I also want to congratulate all the startups for making it this far. We had a tough time as well deciding who were going to be the top startups, and we're so excited to be hearing you pitch in a little bit. Now, I just want to take you and show you a little bit of what is to come for the winner who will represent Cambodia in our She Loves Tech Global Finals that will be part of our conference. So I'd like to show you a video that took place last year during our conference and global finals to give you a bit of a taste of what is to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to She Loves Tech 2019. You are now a part of the largest women in tech startup competition in the world.
Over 80% of our 70,000 teachers are female, and I just feel fortunate that I'm working with them every day. Today, they are working on this innovative technology platform. The moms, now they feel so happy with this global teaching service that they're able to obtain on a VIP Kid platform.
在很多女性的创业者身上看到很多的闪光的地方，这是不是一个好的创业者？跟他其实是男性女性没有关系的，也不要去贴这样的标签。每个时代都会有自己的创业公司啊，只不过它用不同的形式在存在。其实今天只需要你不光是有自己一个 truly believe 的想法，有一个 vision， 你还得有 step by step 每件事情都做到对的这样的一个执行力。
It really takes a village to bring She Loves Tech to life, and it's so important to be working together with Raintree in Cambodia and our other partners all across the world to be doing this, and also just our wonderful, wonderful team, Helena, and many, many, many others, hundreds of volunteers around the world. So without further ado, I just want to thank you all once again for being here and spending your Friday afternoon with us. Thank you, attendees, to our judges, to our mentors, and to the startups. And I can't wait to hear you pitch in a bit. Back to you, Pinky.
Hello, thank you, Lian, for a very insightful and fun-filled and inspirational sharing on what She Loves Tech is all about, and we can't wait to hear the pitches. Up next, I would like to introduce you to our 7 finalists from Cambodia. And this will soon kick off our pitching session. So after a rigorous screening process at the end of August, we identified 7 startups to compete in the local round. So our 7 startup team, they form a diverse group of remarkable women working on important issues across different verticals, including education technology, health tech, logistics, HR solutions, agri-tech, e-commerce, and social commerce. In the last 2 weeks, they've been working very, very hard to refine their business and to improve their pitching skills. They have worked alongside our mentor who have shared with them their gifts of insights, guidance, feedback, and most importantly, friendship. They're all very excited to present their business to you today, and they will be evaluated based on these criteria, from market opportunity to calibers of team, to product and innovation, traction they've had so far, as well as growth and sustainability. And this is the order at which they will pitch today. We'll start with DataU, Peth Yoeung, Papa Deliver, Workingna, Smart Farm Assistant, Khmum Technology, and end with Amarita Mall. Each startup team will have 5 minutes to pitch and 3 minutes for Q&A with our judges. So for the pitching portion, we'll be playing their pre-recorded video. So although as She Loves Tech Cambodia team, we want everybody to win, there's only so many spots for the winner. In this competition today, we will be selecting, or the judges, not myself, will be selecting 3 winners, one first place winner, second place winner, and third place winner. So they will be evaluated by our esteemed panels of judges made up of 5 incredible humans who are friends of Raintree project as well. And we worked with them before, and we're so happy to have them back today. Our judges all are very generous with their time, and they've been active contributors to the tech startup ecosystem, not just in Cambodia, but also regionally. And I'm sure they have fans in the audience today as well. If you're fans of our judges, please say hello. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our judges to you. So judges, when I say your name, please step up on stage by unmuting yourself and turning on your video to say hello to everyone. So first off, we have Khun Paul from Gobi Partners. Khun Paul, would you like to say hello?
Sure. Thank you very much, Pinky. Welcome, everyone. I'm really honored to be at the first She Loves Tech Cambodia competition. I would much rather be there in person, as well as spending time at Raintree, which is sort of my home away from home when I am in Cambodia. When I am not judging these pitch competitions, I am an impact and ESG advisor for Gobi Partners, one of our esteemed partners and sponsors for the event. I am also a venture partner at SeedStars, scouting out venture deals for that organization. And then when I'm not doing VC stuff, I spend a lot of time mentoring startups as a mentor or entrepreneur in residence for programs such as WeWork Labs, True Digital Park, and the Impact Collective. So thank you very much for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing some incredible pitches.
Thank you, Khun Paul. Up next, we would like to invite Bong Ratana from the Cambodia Association of Investment Professionals to say hello to our team.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Min, for having me today. I'm also very pleased to be with you for this important competition. I'm a private sector and investment specialist and consultant, focusing on SME, startup, and innovation. I'm also advising some incubators here, like Impact Hub or Small World. And as you said, I'm the founder and chairperson of the Cambodia community of investment professionals. So I wish everyone, good luck, and here again, very happy. Thank you.
Should I go next? Hi, I'm John. I know Pinky and, I know, well, obviously Pinky, but also Zoe and Leanne through the Obama Foundation. So the Obama connection runs strong here. I run Saturday Kids and Doyobi. They are both startups in the education space. Some of you may be familiar with Saturday Kids because we ran coding cats last year with Raintree, and like Paul, I much rather be in Phnom Penh right now than to do this virtually. Besides Doyobi and Saturday Kids, I actively invest in startups. So actually the last time I judged a competition in Cambodia, I actually ended up investing in the winner. So that's all from me.
Thank you. Next, we'd like to go to Tean from Seeva Capital. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I am calling from Phnom Penh in Cambodia. It's nice to meet everyone. I run a company called Seeva Capital. We do corporate finance advisory, and we help mature companies who build accretive products raise capital. And I'm a career banker, but I'm very interested in startups. And I'm really excited about all of the teams that are pitching today and excited to meet and work with all of you. Thank you.
Great. Hi. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Sophaline now, and I am co-founder and I guess chief of all things at a small consulting company called SO Cloud Solutions. And I spent almost 10 years in the Salesforce ecosystem. Salesforce is a global customer relationship management company. I spent 5 years in San Francisco, so really got a lot of my tech muscle in San Francisco and Silicon Valley. And then I spent 2 years in beautiful Singapore before coming to Cambodia to bring not just Salesforce, but digital solutions like CRMs to small to medium-sized businesses here in Cambodia so that they can embrace digital transformation and really just get themselves ready for the fourth industrial revolution. I am so proud of everyone today. She Loves Tech Cambodia is so exciting. I think as a Cambodian woman who grew up in the US and also working in Silicon Valley, it was always a bit of a feeling of, I wish there were more Cambodian women in technology. And I'm just so thrilled to see it happening here in Cambodia. And because of travel restrictions, I did not go back to San Francisco. So I am in Phnom Penh with Tean as well. We're just in different buildings, but good luck to all the teams. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our judges, for lovely, lovely introductions. And we can't wait to show off to you what our startup team have been up to. I would now like to officially kickstart our pitching competition. Yeah, drum roll. Go ahead on. Yeah. So it is. Do you have this spotlight? Hold on. Yeah. For the first startup team, we would like to introduce to you a DataU Academy by Mekong Big Data. And here is the pitch video. Nora?
I want you to close your eyes. Now picture yourself at 12. What were you thinking about? Your favorite TV show, what sweets to eat, perhaps what game to play next. Now I want to share with you Minyan's story, who at 12 years old, hers was an entirely different set of choices. With a future destined to follow in the footsteps of many women who came before her, her choices were between a forced marriage or running away. She chose the latter. Against all the odds, she battled through the uncertainties and the very real dangers of life on the streets, putting herself through education and creating a new life for herself. Fast forward a few years, and while scrolling through Facebook, she came across an advert from DataU that was a perfect fit for an ambitious young woman like her. And after passing the assessment and selection phase, she completed her funded data science training program within just 6 months. And then before even graduating, with the help of a DataU recruitment team, she landed a job at one of the country's leading telcos and earns 6 times more than the average Cambodian. Now, all's well that ends well, right? But what if we could replicate her successes without the struggle and the turmoil? What if tomorrow's Menyangs didn't have to make the same hard choices? Now, with an estimated 11.4 million new data scientists needed in the next 5 years alone, the local and global supply does not meet demand. And that's where we come in. At DataU, we recruit, train, and deploy high-quality, industry-ready talent fast, leveraging global talent demands to redefine futures for individuals and developing nations as a whole. So what sets us apart? It's our strong focus on both hard skills and soft skills, ensuring we create not only technically excellent talent, but empower compassionate, emotionally intelligent leaders that will help redefine the growth of a nation for generations to come. With a 100% placement success rate, we work directly with employers, both local and international, to place our trainees in high-paying full-time roles before they even graduate. So why Cambodia? DataU is the sister company of Mekong Big Data, an advanced analytics consultancy firm. As the company was expanding, they had a hard time finding good local talent. After talking to clients in Cambodia, they realized this was a huge problem in the local market. And this is how DataU was born. But make no mistake, we are no charity. With a global average salary of $81,000, over the next 5 years, the global market expects to spend over $1 trillion annually on wages alone. And as we move into new international markets, our estimated mixed down revenue is $22,000 per placement. Coupled with a 29% year-on-year growth in demand, this creates an eye-watering market size of $253 billion over the next 5 years. Now, DataU was created as a direct response to market needs by a highly skilled, diverse team of local and international heavyweights, many of whom have left comfortable, high-paying roles in the West to commit themselves to our mission. And since January 2020, we've already closed over $186,000 in revenue, serving 5 leading organizations, including major blue chips like Cellcard, Wing, and EasyCom. We are recognized as leaders in data science and data literacy, by both the press and industry alike. And we have 100% placement success. We are backed by the UK government Innovate UK grant, and we were recently awarded Best Social Impact Technology at SICTA 2020. And we're just getting started. And as we look to expand our impact and move into new markets and territories, we're looking for help from partners and funders just like you, whether that's participating in our 1.25 million fundraising efforts, providing introductions into large organizations with complex and growing data talent needs, such as Facebook, Google, Samsung, and LG, or facilitating introductions to international ministries of labor. At DataU, we're on a mission to redefine tomorrow, leveraging global demands for technology and talent to reshape nations and the generations they create. We want you to meet Menyang. She loves tech. No, sorry, we love tech.
Thank you, DataU Academy team. I would now like to invite Farah Assad to come up on stage and answer a question from our judges. Faria, please remember to unmute yourself and turn on your video. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So we're both going to answer the questions. I'm Yoni Spino, and I'm the Soft Skills Director and co-founder for DataU.
Hello, and I'm Faria Arshad. I am the Academic Director and co-founder of DataU. Nice to meet you all.
And we're both super excited to be here and to be part of this journey alongside with such an amazing women in tech. Thank you.
Judges, do you have any questions for Faria and Yoni?
Yeah, I'll start if I may. Thank you for that great pitch. Can I ask? It's a few questions, and I'll try not to stretch it out. But I wanted to know whether it's a single sort of program, or do you offer sort of many different types of certifications and degree programs? The second is, what is generally the tuition structure, and if you offer tuition assistance to those that may not be able to afford it. And then the last one is, generally speaking, what is your revenue mix between collecting from tuition versus placement revenue?
Okay, so the first question. So we're focusing currently on a program that upskills young talent in Cambodia on data science. So we're combining hard skills with soft skills. So we're not only training them to become technically excellent in when it comes to hard skills, but also upskilling them to be, to be whole-rounded individuals, great leaders, and so on. The second question, our breakdown revenue and tuition fees. Was that the second question? So,
yeah, how much, what is, well, I guess related to your answer, so you're offering sort of a single, pretty standard program,
yes.
data science. So everyone sort of takes the same program. And is that a few months? Is that a year? How long is that program?
So yeah, I'll explain that a little bit further. So what we're doing is we want to create these unicorns in data scientists. But what we found is from our first and second cohort that actually we can't just jump to the advanced level of advanced data scientists. So we're looking at creating a foundation, intermediate, and an advanced level in terms of creating that perfect data scientist within the workforce. By talking to clients, we realized that actually their needs are all very different. So some might need a business analyst, some might need somebody with more Python or ML experience. So actually we've tailored, and part of the funds are to tailor the curriculum to help those individuals and suit their needs and what the skills that are required within the industry. In regards to funding, so again with COVID we have changed our model. So we did have local companies paying for like a scholarship for individuals, which was initially at $12,000 per student, but actually we are now looking at, we've tailored the curriculum and the length of it from 12 months to 4 months. And actually we are now charging individuals $6,000 per placement. And we're also targeting those that are not able, who might be coming from low poverty backgrounds, or those that can't access those tuition fees. So we are working with third party and banks in Cambodia who will be providing that loan, that student fee to the individuals. So that's how we are working in partnership with local companies within Cambodia.
And one thing that we are doing, which is an innovation, I guess, and from this perspective, from a loan perspective, is the fact that we are creating a loan approach that tests the candidates on their IQ and EQ, because most of these people coming from, underprivileged backgrounds have no collateral. So we want to ensure that the banks will allow these individuals to access those funds, and they will only pay at month 7 after they have been placed into a high-paying job. So they won't pay anything up front. They will only pay once they have secured the jobs.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, so to clarify, the placement fee comes from the students, not from the firms.
So it's a combination. £6,000 is the tuition fee, and then we're charging local in the local market. So that's in between 4,000 to 6,000. That's a placement fee. So that is based on approximate 20% of their first year salary.
Thank you, Faria. Thank you, Yoni. Time has run out. Thank you so much for your presentation and Q&A. She's not mute. You're on spotlight. Hold on. Next, we would like to introduce you to Peth Yoeung. Now let's hear the pitch.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pong Lam San. I'm CEO and founder of Peth Yoeung. Peth Yoeung, we call in English our doctor. It is called by hospital management system. Look at in 2012 when I was working with Ministry of Health. Found that more public and private hospital doctor using the paper-based treatment to the patient. As the statistic of Ministry of Health, 50% of the patients who go and visit hospital every year, and most of them are the women. So that when they go to visit the hospital, they have to wait long time, and doctor need to take time to check the existing document. Some documents are losing as many years and then cannot find, and then waiting for a long time as our low productivity, and then also the cost of because they have to wait for a long time. Our solution, Peth Yoeung, is the one of the web platform that can secure patient data. Patient no need to wait for a long time, and then patient can make booking, can find the data through the app, and then they can increase the view, and then they do not wait too long time, and then even operation in hospital. Our Peth Yoeung is cloud-based platform, can apply all the hospital in Cambodia, private and public hospital, and connect to patient directly through our app called eHealth. Our solution is all-in-one solution, can connect all the hospital, connect to the patient and operation in hospital. We are start working to build the system Peth Yoeung in 2012, but we joined the market in 2017. After right now, we have 145 public and private hospitals, and public hospital with the national level, most of them using our Peth Yoeung, and our revenue model up right now we have 800K. We are on the right hand because the government strongly commit using our Peth Yoeung for digitalized healthcare, from health center up to the national hospital, using apply to all Cambodia. And we are, as I'm working with Ministry of Health as a consultant, and then we are come to the right time to make the digitalized here to improve the healthcare in Cambodia. And also we get award from ICT award. And also we get join another tech startup, yeah. And in Cambodia, we have the 14,000 public health center and hospital. And we have 18,000 private hospital in Cambodia. So we expect in 5 years, 35% go to digitalize. We are share market, we try to get 55% of the total market, and we are the one who working with Ministry of Health, and then we are the marketplace, and we have the connection to the Ministry of Health, and we are strongly, we are know the structure and then all the healthcare in Cambodia. Our revenue model, we have the installation, training fee one-time payoff, we have monthly subscription, we have e-health card and transaction commission. Our roadmap, Peth Yoeung, is the marketplace in Cambodia. As of right now, we are #1 marketplace. We are from Peth Yoeung, we can connect to the eHealth, and then the app through our eHealth connect to any hospital through the teleconsult, payment gateway, booking, and any all the prescription and everything is through our eHealth. We are the one, we have competitor, but we are the one localized, we are specialized on healthcare. Our product is all-in-one solution that can connect to the patient directly. We are B2B and B2C. We have the team, and I'm the one who have knowledge and connection to the Ministry of Health, and then we have our team have experience implement in healthcare, and then we have the tech person who have experience in IT and build our product. And we are right now we are on get profit, but we're looking for expand the market to whole of country and Asia region. So we need to complete our the operation and key expertise and tech come for help improve our scale up platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Bong San, for your pitch. Now I would like to invite you, Bong, on stage with the judges. Please unmute yourself and turn on your video.
Okay, maybe I'll ask a question first. So I'd like to understand data privacy because these are health records of people. Who owns all of the data, and what are you doing to protect the data so that only the people who are allowed to have access to it have access to it?
Thank you for your question. Yes, regarding to the data in terms of healthcare, we know that data very important. So each hospital, they have their own data. They can manage they have administrator, they can manage their own data. So mean that all hospitals, we have the backup for that, we have to put that, but they own the data, they own administrator. Yeah.
Okay, which means that if somebody decides to hack into the hospital data system, then anybody could have access to all of the client's data.
Actually, so in here, I can explain to you because we are B2B and B2C. B2B means that the hospital, they can, when they engage and then install system Peth Yoeung, means that they own manage all data by themselves. But regarding to B2B, they have to agree with us. The patient can connect to the app, but they have to validate. Example, if they go to hospital A and hospital B, they have verify with OTP 4 digits, make sure that this is correct, and then allow from privacy from the patient. If the patient do not allow, if they cannot. So mean that, but when they work like example, when they go to the hospital A, hospital B, when the patient they would like to see the history before they go to different hospitals, they can allow and give them the OTP code, but probably only use temporarily. So all the data, they go to hospital A, is keep in A, B and B, but they go to central, code is they give to OTP, mean that the patient. This is because our system is B2B, because mean that we connect a system Peth Yoeung or operation to the hospital, and hospital, the patient can connect to the hospital because they can have the booking, their own data, their own app. Like we also connect to in the future, we can connect to the payment gateway also. Yeah, thank you. Any question?
Thank you.
That's enough time. That's all the time we have for Q&A for Bong Lim San. Thank you so much, Bong. Next up, we have Papa Deliver. Now let's hear their pitch.
There's no sound, Pinky.
Yeah, we recognize that. Trying to fix the sound. 1 second. Hi everyone, sorry, we have a little bit of technical difficulty. Let's see if we can try to get the sound back onto the Zoom webinar.
Hi everyone. I guess that there are some technical difficulties going on. So we might take like a 1 minute kind of break. So everybody could maybe take water, take some water, or go to a toilet break, like just a really quick one, so that the teams have a bit of a time to sort out with the technical difficulties. Thank you everyone, and really sorry for the inconveniences. We'll come back in 1 minute. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to She Loves Tech 2019. You are now a part of the largest women in tech startup competition in the world.
Over 80% of our 70,000 teachers are female, and I just feel fortunate that I'm working with them every day. Today, they are working on this innovative technology platform. The moms, now they feel so happy with this global teaching service that they're able to obtain on a VIP Kid platform.
在很多女性的创业者身上看到很多的闪光的地方，这是不是一个好的创业者？跟他其实是男性女性没有关系，也不要去贴这样的标签。每个时代都会有自己的创业公司啊，只不过它用不同的形式在存在。其实今天只需要你不光是有这么一个 truly believe 的想法，有一个 vision， 你还得有 step by step 每件事情都做到对的这样的一个执行力。
Hello, everyone. Apologies for the technical difficulty earlier. It seems we got our sound back. So up next, we would like to introduce you to Papa Deliver team. And here comes their pitch video.
Hello everyone, I'm a representative of Papa Deliver. Papa Deliver is a local delivery service technology provider that makes small and medium-sized delivery companies more convenient to manage their business through our management system solution. Most of the delivery company in our country are still using the traditional method or handwriting to make their daily tasks, especially they have to track their delivery man. And the only reason just because they cannot afford to own the delivery management system or any technology to facilitate their work. Yet for the consumer, they are not able to find a transparency to one delivery company. And nowadays, there's a lot of the international delivery company that are imported from the abroad, and they made the delivery waste in domestic are overlooked. That's why we come up with this project as well known as Papa Deliver by providing them a delivery management system with the acceptable price and high quality technical service, and also allow them to be more reliable and convenient as the bigger international delivery company. Currently, we have developed 5 platform delivery management system for the delivery company to improve their work tasks easier and better. Travel mobile app, easy for a traveler to connect with a delivery company. Consumer mobile app for those who need a reliable digital booking solution. Work merchant portal to track their daily report and with the delivery company easily. And another one is API integration, that is via the delivery gateway with the e-commerce platform. And we focus on 2 types of our business model: business to business between Papa Deliver and delivery company, business to consumer between Papa Deliver and online consumer. And there's 2 ways of earning our income. Charge 10%, we charge $10 per driver every month as the subscription of our system package, and gain from the commission per transaction booking, 10% from mobile app and 5% from the e-commerce platform. And wires, we are not building the system just to charge the cash from them, but we need to make sure that they will earn the benefit or improve their business better and better. For the delivery company, we not only provide them the technology, but we also bring their company more standard and to make sure that they increase their income, especially the revenue. And for the consumer, we have to make sure that they can find the delivery service easily in order to save their time and money. And according to the Asian parcel delivery market share in 2020, and the number of delivery companies that don't have a standard delivery management system in Cambodia, we have expected $1.6 million of our market size for us in 2020, and it will increase more from years to years. Based on our revenue model, starting from the first year, we haven't earned any profit yet, but starting from the next 3 years, our income, especially the profit, will be increased significantly. And starting a business and having a competitor is what we can avoid. As you know that there's a lot of people who compete in this industry. So all we can do is do research and learn about our competitor in order to identify our strength and weakness. Nowadays, we have 15 subscribers with 15 delivery companies, while another 20 are still in progressing. And this project won't happen if we don't have a great team commitment and another supportive from our seniors. And I am Vita, work as a marketing strategy with a bachelor degree of e-commerce and marketing. And we also have a long journey of our goals starting from now until 2025. We have to make sure that our business is well known by people and cooperate with 10 e-commerce websites, be the best one in Cambodia. And in order to be a partner with 100 delivery companies. And last but not least, we wish to move to the Asian countries such as Laos and Myanmar. Contact us now. We're looking for a potential partner and investor. That's all. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, Vita, for your pitch. Next, I would like to invite you, Vita, and your team to Zoom webinar for the Q&A session with the judges. Please remember to unmute yourself and turn on the video. Thank you.
So, if I may, thank you very much for that presentation. On your competitor slide, you mentioned that one of your advantages is speed. Can you talk a little bit about where that comes into play, whether it's either ordering or delivery time? Where's the speed advantage coming from, and how much of an advantage are you providing over your competitors?
As I mentioned above, I'm talking, yes, probably, to make sure we are not a delivery company, but we are the third party, we are a service technology provider. So the difference between our competitor, we both born to empower another small and medium-sized delivery company, while others just build a system just for themselves, but we build a system just to have another delivery company. And as I mentioned that there's that in our delivery company in our country are still using like their own traditional way to manage their daily tasks that make them like hard for them to manage their tasks.
Thank you.
And yeah, and we are not only provide them technology, but we also like we bring them like the fast and reliable service.
We have time for one more question. Any more questions from judges?
Perhaps if I may, sorry, I'm Ratana. So, I mean, there's a lot of delivery companies involved in logistics, and there's a problem, you know, with the quality of the services. I mean, how can you help on this point?
Can you repeat your question again, please?
Okay, sorry. I said that logistics, you know, is an issue in Cambodia because, I mean, there's problems regarding the quality of the services. How can you help, you know, like in delivering better quality?
Yes, like I mentioned, like we try to like talk to another, like do a survey with a delivery company and to find out like their hard situation, like how hard they manage their business. So all we can do is like we try to provide them a technology like to make them walk through like try to convert them from offline to online and show them the benefit of the online, like the technology that we are living in nowadays. Like just like in this 21st century, if they don't live in the online, or they don't know the benefit of the technology, they cannot run their business or compete with another company.
Okay, so you provide the whole package. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Sorry, that time is up. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ratana. Next up, we would like to invite Workingna to the stage, please. And here's the pitch. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone and judges. My name is Sai. As you know, recruitment of manpower and forming a core team is very difficult for the companies. Tens candidates were invited for the job interview, and sometimes you can't even pick one. Even worse than that, you have to hire someone that does not exactly fit for the job. That's because you have no better choices, and our operation can wait for that long. On the other hand, as a job seekers, they want a perfect job, learn and grow with the company. However, failure of the job interview creates fears for them. They feel less confident, anxious, and stressful. That's because they don't know about themselves, what type of job that fits them, not even know about the job descriptions. As a result, they give up to do other things which is contrast from their backgrounds, and that's why we lose a lot of resources. So starting from the pain points and the market gap we see, so that's why Workingna is born to solve your hiring matters. Workingna is the first hiring tech platform that allows employers to accurately getting the right candidates. Our target announcement service will bring your job vacancy to the right target audience based on their skill sets. For instance, assuming that we have 5,000 database of our web programmers on hand. So those 5,000 people will get your job notifications through Workingna mobile app. And with the OCV is our new features that allow employer to source the real communications, the languages, and their personality before coming for interview. Last but not least, our e-reference check system will help employer to verify and the employment history and their performance as well. So with all of this tool, we are sure that a job seeker will spend less time in doing job search in all other channels because they will get the right job or opportunity automatically. And in addition to get access to Workingna, they have to understand themselves whether they are a non-privileged experience, a junior one, or a top executive level. So our user interface is clean and clear. That makes job seekers to be more convenient finding the right ones. Workingna developed the value of 4 A's to shape your hiring on accuracy, automation, authentication, and aesthetic to make everyone on the job hiring stress-free. So with this value, we believe that employer will minimize their mislead hiring decisions and fastening their process, and job seeker can also build their professional portfolio through for the right job as well. So absolutely, for sure, hiring process is needed for all sectors. So we believe that our market is very potential. We capture the main market for the big corporations and the population between 20 to 40, which is the age group of the employment. By 2021, Workingna aimed to obtain the market share with 100 plus corporations, either a multinational corporation and a public-private limited companies, because we know that they are one of the potential market to work with. So Workingna can make revenue into 2 main ways. One is a recurring revenue that we target to the corporations that I mentioned earlier. So they either can subscribe us as a semi-annual or annually basis. And transaction fee is specifically designed to meet the need for SME sectors, which has more than 500K plus registered company in Cambodia. And we also provide a headhunting service as well. And here is our current key player in the market right now. So based on the information here, there's no doubt to answer why Workingna. With our endless supporting tool, help to build both customer and user experiences. My team and I have built a very strong traction so far in terms of revenue growing, number of job posts, customer and user acquisitions. Currently, we have more than 40,000 people sign up on our app as a job seekers and more than 100 plus companies using our service as well. And here is our plan, our business milestone that we have set on what we're gonna do specifically, not only revenue growing, but our 5 years planning as well. So in order to achieve those, here is our growth strategy, both sales and marketing. Our direction is to build and develop the brand awareness for job seekers, and we run the direct sales on a B2B platform. And here is my co-founding team that we all have a different skill set in order to ensure that operation is going smoothly. And behind my scene, those are advisors who have extensive experience in HR and technology in order to support and guide me so fast. So in summary, I want to say that here's the result of how Workingna can make an impact and changes in the market after our presence for 1.5 years. That's all, and thank you from Workingna.
Thank you, Workingna team. Up next, I would like to invite Bong Pisay to come on board to answer the judges' Q&A. Bong, please remember to unmute yourself and turn on your video.
Yes, hello everyone.
Judges, do we have any questions for Bong Pisay?
Yes, if I may. I'd like to ask, what's your acquisition strategy, both in terms of job seekers as well as recruiting managers?
Okay, thank you for the question. Can you have to go to slide 11? Okay, so regarding to the acquisition strategies for the job seeker, we build mainly on either offline and online. So for online, we are making a lot of noise on social media platforms, and we also using influencers in Cambodia that she help to shout out our product and to inspire fans. And we also work on offline strategy, like we build workshops and other workshop, like we conduct even employee as employer in order to promote our brand and also to inspire the youngsters to build their positive mindsets for the employment as well. And for the acquisition of our customer, I mean to employers, mainly we are go for direct sales strategies. We have our sales team and also do a referral and networking program as well.
And what is your typical acquisition cost per user?
Yes, normally the cost per user is approximate. You mean I mean the cost to acquire user, right?
Yes, I guess you could probably ask that both for the job seeker as well as the recruiting manager. You're going to have a different cost of acquisition to get both of these on the platform.
Yes, yes. So mainly an average, I can say 0.5 per one user acquisition.
That's job seeker, yes?
Yes.
And then what is your cost of acquiring a new hiring client?
For new hiring clients, but because mainly we developed the companies in 2016, that at that time we only offer a headhunting service. So after our platform has launched for 1 year, we promote that to our existing clients and also some from my networking as well. So mainly we only have a fixed cost in terms of our team. I mean a fixed cost of the salaries of the sales team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pisai.
Just a quick question. What is your fastest growing segment?
I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry. What is your fastest growing segment in terms of customer?
Okay. So our fastest growing segment is for corporation like financial, technology, insurance, and banking industry.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bang Pisai. Thank you, judges. Next, we would like to invite Smart Farm Assistant, and here is their pitch.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean from Smart Farm Assistant. We are the agri-tech startup that using IoT for smart education. So the reason that we are tracing with the education, because we start our own story that I have my aunt to do the farming and I saw her spend a lot of time, more than 3 hours to go to the field to do the education. And at that time, I asked myself, why she need to spend a lot of time to do education? Is there any product can help her? So I back to my team, and then we are going to do the market research, working with the customer pain, and we are thinking that education is really the big deal for the farmer. So we see they are do the education in Delhi by manually and spend more than 3 hours for 2 hectares, and they also lack of water management as well. That's waste a lot of water in the field. So we come up with our solution, which is to, in a way, the IoT device that can control the education system and remotely by using our application. So we design our own board and also install in these 2 devices called, the first one is smart valves that can connect with the wall of water pipe, and another one is a smart pump that can connect with the motor pump of the irrigation as well. And yes, we also provide the application with the Khmer language and English language. So how does it look like? We need to have in the existing application in the field and with the motor pump and include with our product. And then after that, so farmer can be access to smart irrigation using application that can set the duration of the irrigate or schedule to irrigation, or can be open on and off as well. So we have a 2 devices right now, and in the end of this month, we also include with our sensor is a soil moisture temperatures sensor that can collect the data, the condition of the soil to the farmer. So we can have another function to allot to the farmer to is it a dry of the soil is going to be the automate irrigate. And in 2021, we will have our own data analysis platform for the farm management as well. So our target customer, the first is we will work closely to the commercial farmer or fruit farm owner that have 1 hectare up, and also the medium farm, and also the greenhouse and vegetable farmers. And last but not least, we're working with the agriculture store. So our revenue model, we will sell our device smart balls $90 and smart pump $100 and with a 100% margin. We know that it's a little bit high price, but in the future, we believe we can cut down the cost 30% to 40%. And the second One is the installation service that we charge for them, and also monthly subscription for our application. So we believe that they can save water more than 20%, and then with the time to do the from the manual allocation, and also reduce the labor, and last but not least, they can save the water. And we see that 25% of the men are farmers, so we want to make impact to them by let them access the smart education with our technology. In this year, we have installed 1/3 all of program in Cambodia, and in next 2 months, we will working with NGO fund by NGO to install or to deploy to the farmer as well. So we have two marketing strategy. The first one is direct marketing, that we're working closely with the NGO to do the pilot deploy our device. And the second is we working with the wholesaler. And third is the bundle payment that we plan to work with the Wing Cambodia. And third is online marketing. We will working through our social media. So in 2021, we plan to sell the 500 device with our marketing strategy. Currently, we also have the potential partnership to support our startup. The first is the the base IoT company in Cambodia, Aerodot, and also Neptic provide our office, and also we partner with our potential NGO, USAID, and also SMB with these two programs. And right now we also got the seed funding from some organization as well to support the finance. And this is our team background. We believe our own passion to transform traditional education to the smart education. And we have a diverse skill and experience with the technology and also agriculture. So with our effort and passion, we got some award from some program, and currently we just got the best digital R&D research from the Ministry of Ports and Telecom. And thank you, and we believe that technology is the future of agriculture.
Thank you, Smart Farm team. Thank you, Sophaline. Next, I would like to invite you, Sophaline, on board to answer questions from the judges.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, judges. Do you have any questions for Sophaline?
Sri, sorry. Can I?
Yes, go ahead, Mom.
Okay, sorry. Sri, I mean, who are your main competitor right now?
Sorry?
Who are your main competitors?
The main competitor for yes, our product is in Cambodia. There's don't have yet, but for the other country, they have existing products that similar with us. As you already know, that technology, so it's quite have many products on theirs. But what is our unique point that we deliver to the farmers? So we adapt with the Cambodia irrigation, which is to connect also the way how is it work with our application. We use the SMS and also the application. So we need to adapt with our Cambodia. We can bring other product from the abroad, but they are using with the behavior like international, or for example China. So the field is quite a little bit different from Cambodia. That's why we think that the main irrigation devices can help us to the farmer as we are Cambodia made it. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Can this be self-installed, or does it need to be installed by your team?
Yes, exactly. Actually, we install it our own self. We just bought the raw material from other country, because in Cambodia we don't have it, the manufacturer. So we have our own machine, and also our team have the skill with electronic engineering. With also we have many people that working on assembling and coding. Also software developers, and also our box to print it out, and then we install for the farmer. So this how is it work?
Can the farmers install it themselves, or somebody needs to install it for them?
Yes, our plan is to the farmers can install it by own self, and we have 2 customers already that they enable to install. We just explain it a little bit. So if they have the experience, can install the pipe of electricity. So our product are really easy to connect with the bottled water pipe and also the motor, and then connect with the electricity. And last one is to install.
Can I ask real quickly, are you operating purely on a sales model, or are you also looking at possibly offering leasing?
Can you ask again the last?
Yeah, sorry about that. So are you working strictly, are you just strictly selling your devices, or do you also plan on using some sort of leasing program?
Yeah, thank you so much. For already 6 months that we are we sell our own self. We sell sold more than 20 devices to the farmers, but but our team don't have a network much with the farmers. We don't have a community. So our plan is to work with the NGO that they already have 1,000 farmers in their hands. So what we need to do is to build a partnership, and we have a demo pilot, and then let our training to the farmers. So after that, they will see, oh, that is working. So after that, they will purchase or buy it from our device. Yes.
Well, no, so I'm sorry. What I was getting at is, rather than doing an upfront purchase, is it possible for farmers to rent or lease the equipment and devices? So some sort of rental or leasing program rather than a purchase.
Actually, right now we are planning to sell two devices for the rent, and yes, like the rent or give that we don't have it for the farmers yet.
Yeah. Thank you.
But
thank you, Jalen. Time is up. Thank you, On. Thank you. Thank you so much. And also thanks to our judges. Next up, we have Khmum Technology, and here's the pitch video.
Good afternoon, other judges. My name is Ratana. I'm from Khmum. Before we start the pitch, I would like to thank Dr. Tean for showing us that dream is possible. If we dare to dream, dare to make it come true. I also have a dream that Cambodia could be a better country if half our women entrepreneurs participate in the formal economy. Women in Cambodia is not very different from other countries in the world. Women run 65% of business in Cambodia, but 96% of those business are micro-sized and engage less than 4 people, and they participate in the informal economy. Women are very easy to face many challenges, including lack of support in terms of finance, information, technology, knowledge, and effort for business development, and also limited help from the government in terms of law and regulation. We see a big opportunity in connecting vendor and buyer, as there are 61.1 million people subscribe to mobile internet service, and there's 11 million people that actively on Facebook right now that also participate in the social commerce, that we can transfer those people into a formal e-commerce. Problem we see the lack of efficiency at the brick and mortar store, and also lack of digital and financial literacy. In order to make my dream come true, we create Khmum eShop, which is an e-commerce platform with an app-based end-to-end marketplace that connect MSME, emphasizing women-led businesses to consumer in Cambodia and beyond, driven by a mission to increase digital literacy and financial literacy, promote local product, and create more job and opportunity. A bit of a vendor feature. Our app is very easy to onboard the vendor because we have a universal product code scanner that take the data and picture from the database and fill in automatically in our app. We have integrate web image research, Google search, that is very easy for vendor to use as well. And we also have an instant chat that they can talk directly to the customer. Also sell dashboard, and we also have a quick roll. Vendor and customer only use one app. We don't have two separate apps, but the vendor have multi-role that they can switch between customer, service, and admin. This is our homepage. On the app, we have a category made in Cambodia and other category. We have sales promotion. Customer can search by brand and category. Customer and vendor can share the post through any platform. And for example, share to Facebook. When they click on the link, it will take the user back, the link into the exact item on the app. Seller analysis dashboard can show the order transaction daily, weekly, and monthly. The financial report can be used as the financial statement to borrow loan from the bank in the future. Here's a little bit our vendor logos, some of them. We cannot put everything in one page. So these are by customer feature. We have quick search, cash, they can pay cash or card. And also they can chat directly to the vendor. We have order tracking and order history. The app was available in iOS and Android in March 2020. Currently, we have about 150 vendors and around 3,000 to 4,000 items. We are expecting to have 500 vendors by 2020 and ultimately launch the app internationally. Our competitive advantage is that we provide digital training and store maintenance session to our vendor. And also we have low to no cost for local SME to access our Khmum eShop platform. We signed an MOU with CWA on September 9, 2020 to give special access to members of CWA. We also partner with She Investment. We have many vendors from She Investment, and as a member of She Investment, I actively advocate and that investing in women is not a charity, but it's an opportunity. This is with our team. We have an agile team, fast and run, taking staff. Our apps created from scratch by a programmer that has been trained by Ratana advisor and trainer from a top overseas company. As myself as a founder, I have a bachelor in computer science and an MBA from US, and we have a strong sales marketing team as well. In conclusion, my generation may not be able to see 50% women at the top, but I'm hopeful that future generation can. I think if our country and our company were run by women, that would be a better world. I envision that She Loves Tech and Khmum can join force hand in hand, enhancing the knowledge of women entrepreneurs and the role of women in business in Cambodia, and help prepare women entrepreneur capacity upgrade toward digital economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Khmum eShop team. Ratana, sorry, we would like to invite you on stage for your Q&A session with the judge.
Hello, thank you.
Hi, hello. I have a question. Thank you so much for that lovely presentation. My question is about customer loyalty for users of Khmum eShop. Do you have a strategy to ensure that your buyers will continue to use Khmum eShop? What can stop them from going direct to the seller? Because I know that sometimes that can be a challenge for a lot of businesses. Has Khmum eShop developed some sort of a loyalty program or incentive for customers to continue to buy through your platform? Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Sophaline, right? Yeah, that's a great question. This is the first question that everybody asks when we come to the e-commerce, right? How do you build loyalty? Because we provide all the access data to the vendor themselves. The loyalty is that the easy how to use it very quick. So they don't have to ask again to the vendor that they want to order this, order that, this different size. So with the history, they can just quickly click and reorder again. No need to talk to anybody. So that's how we see a lot of people returning, come back and buy out from us again and again. Because of the easiness, a smooth, or they just place an order and the next thing is they receive the product at their doorstep. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, I'd like to ask, are you also managing payments processing and order fulfillment?
Yes, we also have payment gateway. We partner with ABA and Amarita Bank, and also we have a fulfillment. So some vendors have consignment with us, and some vendors just do it by themselves. They deliver directly to the customer. But some vendors, they have the product in our place. When they order, we just deliver for them.
So are you maintaining your own inventory facilities and delivery fleets, or are you outsourcing that?
Basically, we have the product, we have the warehouse, but we're still using third party for delivery. We partner with other third party for delivery, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
just a quick question. What about your revenue model? Because we know that it's not easy in Cambodia, you know, for e-commerce. It's only starting. So how do you envision, you know, like the development and your revenue model in the future?
Thank you for the question, Ratana. Yes, for the revenue model, we doing 10% commission for if they deliver directly, and if they put consignment, we take 20%. And also in the future, as I mentioned earlier, that the financial statement of the order transaction, we can use that because we can generate a report if they want to borrow loan from the bank. This is a very good transaction history for them that they can, the bank look at it as Acelida trust us because they've been study our app. They say that our app is give accurate information, no fake data, so they can use that as a financial statement for the bank to borrow the loan for the vendor if they want to. And for example, if they other vendor they need to borrow, they need to put on collateral. But with the, and also they want financial statement, they don't trust them. Financial statement, I don't know, they don't know if the number is accurate or not. But with this history, order history, they can use it as their projection as well. So we can generate those reports, and those can be our revenue in the future as well.
Thank you, Bangata. Thank you so much from each of team. Up next, we have a very, very last startup team, Amarita Mall. And here's their pitch.
Hi, I'm Lippy. I'm a founder of Amarita Mall. Amarita Mall is a peer-to-peer e-commerce marketplace in Cambodia. First, let me introduce you about the problem that Amarita Mall is trying to solve. In the past few years, especially amid to COVID-19, we've seen a skyrocket growth in social commerce. Social commerce is those who perform their business through social media. Thus, there are a lot of problems that social commerce entrepreneur is facing. The main problem that they are facing is delivery. Second problem is the high marketing ad spend on social media. Digital marketing, social media marketing is still new to Cambodian. So they didn't understand the technical behind of how to make their campaign on social media with high efficiency and low cost. The other thing is when they grow, they want to have their product accessible to customers through other platforms as well, such as their own website and application. That's why Amarita come into place and bring a solution as a bridge between social media entrepreneur and customer. We had launched our marketplace in both web portal and native app on both iOS and Android. Social commerce entrepreneur can become our merchant. They can manage their whole digital business on our platform just as seamless, as easy as they manage their Facebook page. Everything is up to them. They have the freedom to do all the setup, the catalog, the banner logo, and all of that is all up to their customization and their needs. We had a clear study of to access directly to each merchant and view their e-catalog and making order. So our vendor can use this QR code feature to place on their virtual content such as their promotion on social media, their menu, their picture, and all of their posts on social media. And their customer can scan the QR code and access direct to their digital store on our marketplace. Thus, we don't just have one competitive feature, we have more. Another competitive feature is we're trying to solve a delivery nightmare for both customer and businesses by introducing the to a driver application for freelancer. So we have a freelance driver application that all merchants can schedule order and also order a driver to pick up the parcel instantly. And they can also use the Google route optimization, and they can track their delivery real time. And most importantly, we have a proof of delivery feature. As for the impact that we are making, especially for women, we had created freelance driver app so that we create more freelance job. We also creating job by them becoming a social commerce entrepreneur. They have an easy platform to access and present their business. And we also give an opportunity to existing social commerce entrepreneur to grow their businesses, to increase their sales and minimize marketing ad spend. And most importantly, we believe that our platform will help to solve and decrease the social commerce victim from pyramid scam business. For the market share that we think we can get for year one is 2% of the total amount of laid off employee admit to COVID-19. Our main business model is commission. To make all of this happen, this is the team behind Amarita Mall. Last but not least, let me share with you a juicy information. Ministry of Tourism had agreed to partner with us in order to launch a campaign for all the people who lost job admit to COVID-19 in tourism to have an accessible opportunity and become a homemade and home-based entrepreneur. So now we had reached to the end. Amarita Mall is seeking 500,000 US dollar for seed round investment and a strategic partner. With a revenue forecast of $3.7 million, I hope you will join Amarita Mall and together build local business ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Amarita team. Thank you, Lipi. And Lipi, may I please invite you to the floor for your Q&A session with the judges, please?
Hi, respectful judges and everyone.
Does payment happen on the platform?
Excuse me?
Does payment happen on the platform? Do you facilitate?
Yes, the payment is happening on the platform. We have our own wallet. There will be a cash on delivery. There will be a payment gateway, but we are waiting for approval. And the last one is that admit to customer behavior in Cambodia. Customer is familiar with the direct bank transfer from one bank app to another bank app and screenshot the transaction and send through Facebook Messenger. So we also have integrated that pay by bank transfer option where customer can upload that transaction and both merchant and customer and our admin can see that transaction all at real time, the same time. Thank you.
Hi, this is Tean. How many people are on the platform? Like how many sellers and how many buyers are on the platform?
Currently, we have not launched our app yet. We plan to launch our app to public for user in November. And currently, we had already signed nearly 100 merchants, estimate around 1,000 SKU that we plan to join together. And when we launch to the user, they will have a different choice of product food on our platform from day one. And we already have confirmed nearly 300 drivers that will be partnering with us to become our freelancer driver. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as a peer-to-peer service, you're not managing any inventory, correct? It's strictly facilitating orders peer-to-peer. Is that right?
Yes, as a peer-to-peer service, we will not be managing any inventory, but we will monitoring the service that will help both merchant and customer. So we still monitor the quality, but we will not manage the inventory. Thus, we also have our own supply chain. Just like any department store, we have our food supply chain, which we already built some traction.
I'm sorry, did you say food?
Yes, food. We actually selling what is called Yai Hon paste. It's similar to Tom Yam paste, and we already have a traction on that for almost 6 months already. And currently we expanding our supply chain. So that is also our market entry strategy. That we also have something to sell on our own, so that we can boost together with our merchant. Thank you.
But so I mean, because you're effectively a B2B peer-to-peer delivery service on demand, would you be looking at things like restaurant deliveries, courier services, and because essentially it's basically just arranging for deliveries?
So basically we are the A to Z solution, so they can increase their sales through our e-commerce marketplace, and they can manage their operation through our merchant app, and they can have a seamless delivery through our driver app, because we have 3 options. One, the merchant can assign their own in-house driver. We will assign the app for them to use as a solution for free of charge, and they can schedule the driver with the freelancer that close to them. Example, like there is a motor taxi or tuk-tuk that live nearby, they can schedule to order from them ahead of time, and they can also find an instant freelance driver which is closest to them.
Thank you. Thank you, judges. Time is up. Thank you so much for all your pitches. Judges, thank you for your hard work. It's been an hour and plus of constant pitching and Q&A. We would like to invite our judges to hop on to our conference room for the judge deliberation. On the way there, please be sure to mute yourself and turn off the video. And our colleague, Aria C, co-founders of She Loves Tech, will meet you at the judges deliberation room. Thank you so much. And for everyone else, please stay here with us. We have an exciting upcoming segment to share with you. And just give me a little bit of time to do that. So up next, we have our wonderful Wonder Woman, Leanne Roberts, as well as Jayantika Soni, to step up on board on our stage and chat about their experience with She Loves Tech. And we are so grateful for Leanne to be the host of this session. Leanne, would you like to begin?
Yeah, thanks, Pinky. Okay, I'm very, very excited about this segment. Jayantika Soni is so wonderful. She was our She Loves Tech Singapore winner for 2019. She joined us for our boot camp in Beijing and our global finals, and she did really well. And also, you know, the whole entire 2019 global finalists all grew extremely close. And I know that the batch of them still keep in touch very much until today. So I'm going to invite Jayantika to come on and to share with us a little bit and introduce ourselves to yourself and to Rethink.
Hi, Leanne. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And like you said, She Loves Tech has been an amazing journey for all of us, all the 2019 finalists and participants. We have definitely kept on touch. So I'll just give a quick introduction about myself and what I do. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Rethink, which is an AI-driven energy cloud for distributed energy resources, such as solar, smart buildings, microgrids, etc. So we do optimization, monitoring, and control of these energy assets to improve energy efficiency and performances in the B2B space. Yeah, that's about it.
Fantastic. And I mean, okay, so Jayantika holds a PhD in electrical engineering from National University of Singapore. And one of the things I love about She Loves Tech is Jayantika is the CTO of Khmum Technologies. So was Maria, who was our winner in Germany. She was also the CTO of a company. And we are just seeing these just amazing women who are CTOs. And, you know, many people have been extremely surprised, and we're not surprised, obviously, because we know that women can build amazing technologies and can be extremely technical in their abilities. So today I thought that I would, really delve deep and talk about different personal stories, right? So Jayantika, I just wanted to start with how you and your other co-founders, what was that moment that made you decide to start Rethink?
Thank you, Leon, for that. So I joined an accelerator straight after submitting my thesis for PhD called Entrepreneur First. There I met my co-founder, Amir, and both of us were from the energy background. Actually, there were only 5 people I could count on my hand who were from the energy background. Having a PhD in the same field, I knew early on that I want to continue working and contributing to this field. And we knew that the way to move forward for me, the motivation was the world is moving towards more sustainable energy and it needs to do at an accelerated pace. How can I contribute? How can I help in that goal for the whole world? So Amir is also a renewable energy engineer by background, and both of us sat together and dealt over what are the problems plaguing this industry. Through the program, we narrowed down the problem further and further, what makes a business sense for the customers to buy, as well as what is the technology we can produce that can solve this hair on fire problem. 3 years ago, that was in 2017, Rethink was born around 24th of October, so our anniversary is coming up soon. And we launched solving the problem of distributed energy and how to make their utilization better in the next grid that we are seeing.
Fantastic. And it's such an important issue, right? The whole issue of sustainable energy and renewable energy, it's really, I think, a couple of years ago, we saw this as just a nice to have, right? As something that was socially good. But what we're seeing now with COVID, with everything that's happening around us, we know that this is urgent and it's extremely important. And investors, if you haven't already done so, you really need to start paying attention to these industries. So I also just wanted to talk about you, right, as an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur now 4 times over. She Loves Tech is my 4th company, and I have been a tech entrepreneur quite a few times. And I know that entrepreneurship can have extremely high highs and low lows. So I thought that we could talk a little bit about that. Maybe you could share with us and the audience about, as an entrepreneur, what was your best day as an entrepreneur and what was your worst day?
It's a very good question because, and it's a very deep question as well. I really appreciate that you asking me. Entrepreneurship has its own sets of highs and lows, as you have mentioned, Leanne. For me personally, one of the highs that happened was one of our first installation where we took our hardware device, this tiny little thing, and we put it on the customer side, hoping that nothing goes wrong. Almost there were no problems from our software end, but everything around us, the technical part went wrong. Like the cabling had issues. There were some issues about the power supply. And suddenly we were in the middle of a dust storm as well. But at the end of the 4 days, we could install the device. We could ensure that it was working properly, communicating to a cloud properly, and have to an end-to-end communication. So this was one of my first days, because that is the moment of was a true test, whether Rethink goes further or not, whether the customer is satisfied with the work that you do or not. So it was a mixed week, but the outcome was so good that we were ultimately quite happy with it. About the worst days, there can be some days which are bad. I would not say it is the worst day ever. There was a 2 or 3 week period where the whole team, myself, the whole tech team was putting in at least 12 hours a day for 7 days a week, nonstop, in creating one custom feature for a customer. But in the end, they didn't appreciate that much. And that was a demotivating factor for the whole team. But it's also a part of learning that we realize that we need to be a bit more resilient in terms of what demands do we cater to for the customer, set realistic timelines with them. People who do not come from a technical background think things can be churned out very easily, but that may not necessarily be the case. So setting the right expectations or setting the right timelines and what the team can deliver in a stipulated timeline is one thing that we learn. And it taught us to be better in communication. It taught us to be better in terms of how much should be the last mile we should go before taking a step back and evaluating whether we should go forward with it or not. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes so much sense. And there's so many good things in there, right? You know, you talked about that things don't work all the time. As an entrepreneur, it really does not work, right? And it's about how you keep going. You know, for me as well, like there were days as an entrepreneur, even with She Loves Tech, right? Like today, there've been a lot of different technical difficulties that we've had that sometimes is out of our control. Our Cambodia team, our Raintree team had blackouts just before, 5-10 minutes before we were supposed to go live. And these things happen, but how do we just, you know, pick things up and continue? I think the continuing and what you mentioned about resiliency is just so important, right? And another really great thing that you mentioned was communication. And I cannot stress this more, that you need to be communicating, right, with your team, with your clients, with your partners, with your investors. The communication of a startup founder is going to be so important. And communicating, especially in what you do, which to me sounds extremely out of this world, right? I mean, I remember when I first met you, I honestly, and I've seen a lot of pitches, but I didn't understand half of the things. And, you know, you guys are so smart, right? You know, you have your PhD, you have other co-founders that also have their PhDs. And it's how do you communicate your story, rethink your business, what it is about in a simple way. And, you know, I know that through the She Loves Tech journey, you really, you know, really worked on that, and something that was so innately complicated became so easy when you pitched on the global stage last year in Beijing. Everybody understood what your company was about. So there's just so many good things in there. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, as your journey as a CTO in AI and in energy, what are some of the, I would say, unique advantages that you felt like you had, right? And what were some of the disadvantages? You know, did you, being a woman, CTO, it's rare. Also, being a woman in AI, it's also rare. So what was your journey like?
Oh, very interesting question. And let's start with the positive things first. Having a background in the domain, in the power and energy sector, we understand how the system is going to evolve, not just right now, but how it's going to be in the future, how disruptive it's going to be for the grid to anticipate for that. So when you have a depth of field of knowledge, then you can foresee that I cannot create a product that just solves the problem, which is right now, but something that is sustainable and will continue for years and keep evolving and keep solving the problems as and when they grow to a massive scale. So this is one of the advantages, I think, like personally I felt while designing Resync, while working on the product, etc., that we can think about, we started to think about the problem right now, but we also envisioned how it's going to evolve in the future. The disadvantages, like you mentioned some of them, is looking at the AI side of things, or looking at being a women co-founder or the CTO. it comes with its pros and cons. So because you're an expert in your field, you can project that confidence that, yeah, there is some value to the paper, to the degree, and to the knowledge that you bring onto the table. I have been mistaken at trade shows as like the secretary or the receptionist of the booth who doesn't know about the product. For me, I just take it as it's not something as a comment on my own, but it's just the ignorance of the other person that they are not able to think forward about it. So I just explain them, I designed this product and this is how it's supposed to work, etc. Some of the disadvantages, as I would say, like I know one tunnel vision, like I know my field really better, but during this building this company, I have looked at different aspects of the product, like how users interact with it, learning their behavior, how the customers, what are their pain points, how we do solve for them, etc. It's not just like thinking about, hey, energy should look like this, and this is what I'm going to do, but understanding from other aspects which I may not know completely about, and hiring the right people who can help solve me those problems. So that's how you overcome with your disadvantages, I guess.
That's so great, and I love these stories. I think one of the things that I have also learned as an entrepreneur is, when you get mistaken, right? I mean, I'd be mistaken as well. I was a manager at a very large engineering conglomerate, Siemens, in the UK, and I was managing a whole entire team. And I had people, even my own friends, that thought that I was the secretary of the team, and you do get mistaken. But I think the important thing is, don't take it personally, right?
Yep.
It is their ignorance, but they're not trying to do this in a malicious way majority of the time. You have exceptions, but majority of the time people are not malicious. And how do you just keep moving forward? And I think as an entrepreneur, it's just so important to keep moving. And if you take things personally, you end up kind of being engrossed in that, right? You can't let it really affect you more than it should be. And so move on, right? I've had many stories myself, but moving on and not taking the things personally was like the key for me. Yeah. So I'm going to go into something that I've been thinking a lot about, which is around imposter syndrome. For those of you who don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's really, being at a certain level in your life, in your career, in your company, but not feeling like you deserve to be there, feeling a bit like you're a fraud, feeling like you are not good enough. And we see very senior women such as Sheryl Sandberg, such as Mrs. Michelle Obama, talk very publicly and share their own experiences of struggling with imposter syndrome. And in the tech industry, and especially, in energy and AI, where there's so few women, have you struggled with this? And can you share a little bit more about your story and how you have been able, if any, to overcome this?
So I did not know about imposter syndrome until I think 5 or 6 years ago. I was in the middle of my PhD, and that's where I read a quote somewhere that people who are overachieving tend to suffer from this imposter syndrome. And another effect of imposter syndrome is they will think that, it doesn't apply to me. I am actually an underachiever. It applies to someone else who's an overachiever who thinks like that. So it's like that, kind of like a exponential version of a imposter syndrome. But the more I talk to more people about it, it's very less talked about. Like you said, Leanne, we should be talking about it more. Women suffer more due to the imposter syndrome than any other gender or any other persons. the way I coped up with it was initially not great, that I kept on delving, hey, I'm truly an imposter, I do not belong here. But slowly when you start to showcase your work, however like bad you feel or however fearful you are presenting it to the others, you get kind of an external validation, like others appreciate it, whether it's through papers, whether it's through developing the product, and believing in yourself, like reminding yourself daily, hey, I'm not an imposter, I deserve to be here. It cannot all be a coincidence that I jump through so many hoops that I can end up here. And reading about it has been the only way that I could cope up with it. There are days that it creeps up on you still, like even after launching a company, especially during the early stages of building a company, when you have an idea and no execution. In those cases, people, it will creep up on you from your own self. So the only thing you can do is take it one day at a time, build yourself the goals that you can do about. I've been really lucky to be surrounded by amazing network who keep on reassuring or keep on saying that no, it cannot be all coincidences, whether it in terms of family, partners, my friends, my team, my co-founder. Like surround yourself with that positivity, that it is not all luck that you ended up here. You just have to tell yourself that same thing over and over again until you believe it.
There's so much I love here. Oh my goodness. You know, you're so right? Surrounding yourself with people who can help encourage you to just reach higher levels, right? And really just elevate yourself is so important, you know. And I mean, I've definitely suffered myself from a whole, bout of not feeling good enough, right? Not feeling like I belonged, even within my own team as well. Whether it was companies I had built, I have always been surrounded by fantastic team members. And even within She Loves Tech, we have such great co-founders, as you know them pretty well, Jayantika. I mean, between Virginia and Ria, just so many great things, and sometimes the extent to which She Loves Tech has exploded and has grown, sometimes that itself is just so intimidating, and it constantly makes me feel like, okay, are we the right people to be doing this? Do we need to bring in more experts, right? Do we need to bring in people who know so much better than us? But I think you're right. We are here because we have been able to achieve something in our lives, and we have to trust in our own abilities, and surrounding ourselves with people who trust in us is so important. For people who know me, know that my greatest pillar of support is my husband, who is fantastic, one of the smartest people I know. It's also his birthday today, and he is just been such my biggest cheerleader, and not just my pillar of support, but also just my sounding board, really my everything. And I know, Jayantika, you had you had the opportunity to work together with him.
Yes. Happy birthday to Anand, first of all. And you're doing this on his birthday. That means he truly is this like the pillar of support for you. And I can speak from my conversation with Anand. Like he's very supportive. He's attentive in what you're saying as well, and gives really good ideas for mentoring me. I actually just before the pitch last year, just I'll share the story. I was a bit nervous, not a bit, quite nervous, and I messaged Leanne that I need some help. And I knew that Leanne had a stack of things higher than Mount Everest on her head. And still she said, I'm busy, but why don't you call Anant and he may be able to help you out. And then Anant and I spoke, and I think Anant took over my responsibility completely from Lian, and talking to him like a sounding board helped me narrow down the pitch part, like the starting point. Like I did not know, should I pick this or that? And then after talking to him, I picked another route altogether. So that is definitely needed. Just on the same note, like I truly believe our partners, our husbands are the true people who bear the brunt of it. They see us at our worst days, our good days. My husband Love can speak for magnanimous amount of days that I have like just come and I'm like, I don't want to talk shit. I don't want to discuss anything or take out my anger from some other thing on him. I also on the good days, like we celebrate the success together as well. So yeah, that support you definitely need.
Definitely. I remember last year She Loves Tech, was one of the best experiences for our team. We loved having our finalists so much, and we built such strong relationship with you guys that we continue until today, and we continue to support you and, to help you grow. But I remember the team, I shared earlier in my opening remarks that it really takes a village to do something like this at She Loves Tech. We are a nonprofit, so we rely a lot on volunteers, a lot of people who are equally as passionate as us to really bring She Loves Tech to life. And it's really been quite a difficult journey. And I remember last year we were up, I think, through that whole entire week of boot camp. I think it was like we had like 2 or 3 hours sleep every single night with the team, and but it was so much fun. And I remember when we had kind of like our closing drinks, do you remember, with everybody?
Yeah.
And we even had shared, we shared a lot of laughter, some tears. We had Sonica sing to us. It was just pretty magical.
It was actually like one of the best conference experience for me, like because it was not just the boot camp, it was the whole network, like how involved and inspired you guys were in building that event. You transferred that energy to us as well during the process, and truly like the team kept in touch. We had Zoom calls like early this year as well. So it's I spoke to Nusrat a few weeks ago as well. So it's been like quite a good bonding, and definitely we need a better female network that I would root for any day, anytime.
So, one of the things that was so special in general about She Loves Tech, but especially last year, was I remember so many finalists coming up to us after that, and they said, that they have never been in a startup competition or any kind of competition where everybody was all the finalists, right? All the participants were so supportive of each other. I know that you guys were practicing with each other, you were giving each other tips, you cheered for each other, you cheered so loudly for each other. It was just like that kind of camaraderie, right? And just seeing, other women tech entrepreneurs, not as competitors, right? But really that we are in this together, and that if one person wins, we all win. And I think that is so important.
Truly, I would definitely agree to that. And I think like we took it with the spirit that, hey, it's not just a test of my company, but it's a test of women all around us, and we represent those women and the generation forward, that we need to showcase that. It made me so happy on listening to the winners and their stories. You will typically feel bad at the end of a competition, but we ended on such a happy note and such an amazing thing that I am truly grateful for the valuable experience we had.
And I think it wasn't just, I mean, it was so special on so many levels, right? One of the things that we really value at She Loves Tech is, you know, that we really aim, or we have really tried extremely hard to seek out the best entrepreneurs, right? And that happen to be women-led, women-impact startups, but truly the best. And I think last year was one of those years like that everybody was so brilliant. Everybody had such just groundbreaking like technologies, and that even at the end, you know, so we play a little game with the co-founders where we guess who's going to be the winner, and we just could not guess because it was so close, right? Everybody was so fantastic. So, you know, I think it was I in general, right? I know that it sounds so cliche sometimes when we say, okay, yes, everybody's a winner, but it was just one of those things that, you know, it was just on another level of quality. And, you know, everybody who was watching could tell that these businesses were going to go far. So I was so excited about that.
I'd like to ask you a question now.
Of course.
Is that okay? Yeah,
of
so
course.
we have a true chat as well. So congratulations on being the 100 Women in Tech by the IMDA in Singapore. So why don't you share, like, how was your journey? Like, what can be done more from your perspective to adding more women in tech? Just in general. I know I flipped it, but yeah.
Yeah, really. But okay, I think, thank you so much. It was just such, it was so great because both Virginia and I had this honor of being 100 Women in Tech awardees. And it was so great to see She Loves Tech elevated to the next level. You know, my team, Helena, Zoe, many who you have met, right? They work so hard, and sometimes, you know, we put our heads down and we really concentrate on working hard, and it can be a very thankless job. So just to kind of be given this award has been so fantastic, and it really has just taken She Loves Tech in the public eye to the next level. I think that one of the things that we truly care about at She Loves Tech is that we see so much talk around getting more women into technology, around, you know, how do we close this gender gap, how do we get more women funded, and not enough doing. And which is the whole entire reason why we started She Loves Tech in the first place. And so it's so important to be able to have more people doing more things that are actually meaningful. I think I see so many large corporations just want to kind of like check that box to say that they have done something for female founders. And it's like, you know, that they, you know, do something. I can hear like glass breaking in the background if you can't hear it. But that they do something that is like just an event, and then that's it, right? There's no follow-up, there's no follow-on, and like everything kind of there's nothing that ends up in any kind of meaningful collaboration or any kind of like meaningful outcome. So we at She Loves Tech are very focused on the outcome, and we're very focused on really taking and really helping women entrepreneurs on another level. So one of the things, and that you know, because I actually contacted you to help us with this, which is, so we are going to be launching a whole entire series of different things. So please follow us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. But we're going to be launching a whole series around, you know, really women getting themselves funded. We have been collecting a lot of data around what works, what doesn't work, right? How to really take your pitch to the next level, but not just pitch, how to take your fundraising game to the next level, right? How do you gain that confidence around fundraising? And it's so important. And so we've been working really hard based on the thousands of startups that have come through our door and the kind of work, the kind of mentoring that we've done. So for the last 6 years, so we're so excited to be bringing this as well to the public, coming hopefully at the beginning of next year. Obviously plans have gotten kind of jumbled all around with COVID happening and everything, but that's when we are planning on launching this beginning of next year. How about yourself, Jantika?
First of all, congratulations. I'm really excited to see that, whatever is coming next year. And the glass that you heard breaking was the glass ceiling.
Also, my husband, I think, broke a glass.
Maybe he was breaking the glass ceiling for you.
He was. I told you he was supportive.
So for me, like you really nailed it down. Like when we are talking about women in tech, it's not just about having one event or giving webinars or giving that support. It's also about, like you said, putting your money where your mouth is. That is one of the ways, like, whether you support female entrepreneurs by giving them the right fundraising. You can close the gender gap in your companies as well. Like, that is something that most women entrepreneurs can do. Hire more women. It's incredibly hard. I have been hiring for a very long time. And the kind of CVs that I see is like, it's actually 90% male and like 10% female. In that proportion, and the rejection criteria apply almost equally. So we really need to go to the grassroots level and tell women coding is not that hard. Coding is something actually in this day and world is something that most people can pick up without a high barrier to entry. So that is one message that I keep on saying, that don't be afraid of coding. I recently interviewed one woman who actually was from a different background, like a bachelor in arts, and moved to coding because she put her effort and the mind to it that she can learn it on her own. So the resiliency, the options to women are a bit more open. There needs to be both a bottom-up and a top-down approach if we talk about bringing more women in tech. We can have events. Definitely, there's no harm in it. But we should also not have like, okay, women are an afterthought on a panel. They should be the first thought that I need to have a 50-50 panel. I need to make sure that that happens. Women are the first thought whenever you're hiring. Women are not an afterthought. Hey, we need to have a gender balanced team. So this is something we should actively think about. This is something we should think about at every decision that we make, whatever it may be, whether it's fundraising, whether it's hiring, whether it's organizing an event, etc. It's something that should be a conscious decision, like a checkbox in your head. Like, hey, did I do this? Why couldn't I do this? Like a flowchart, not a checkbox, like a flowchart. And what can I do to make sure that this does not happen? Like, how can I ensure gender diversity?
I really like that. You know, you're right. It has to be both a bottom-up approach and a top-down approach. And, you know, one of the things that we miss out so much, right, is also not just in hiring of teams, but also in building of our products. So one of the things that we have also been, or at least myself, have been speaking a lot of different conferences about is about the biases within tech products. So, you know, there's so many examples out there. Amazon had a very famous example They had built an AI recruiting tool in 2015 to be able to help recruit their candidates faster. But what had happened was that the input that they built it with, right, or trained the algorithms with, were based on white men, CVs of white men. So of course, when the output was also that they were recommending CVs of white men, and so they ended up having to scrap this about 1 or 2 years ago, but it must have cost them millions of dollars, right? And so we need to see more women as well being involved in the whole entire process, because this is not just a nice to have anymore. You know, this is way beyond this. This is, you're going to be costing your company a lot of money if you don't create solutions that are inclusive.
Truly agree with that. And like I've read these articles, like you said, most of the code is written by men, so they do not account for that bias. And the bias correction needs to happen. Algorithm learns from the data, whatever we provide to it. Till now, there have been mostly men who have been writing software. So the algorithm thinks, okay, this is the best, maybe gender is a criteria. Or even if you blind that gender, maybe this specific path in the career is a criteria to move forward. So that bias correction in algorithms that we design needs to happen. In the team that we need to hire, that needs to happen. And the product, right? Like a diverse team creates a much better product than a homogeneous team at any given day, at any given time. So it is not just about like nice to have, it's also about survival of a company now. It's, if you build a shitty product, it's never gonna continue. Hire a diverse team, they make a better product.
Yeah. I mean, the statistics tell us so, right? This, like, research tells us that diverse teams, you know, higher revenue, better decision-making process, faster decision-making, just so many good things, but yet we're not seeing this enough, right? So it's just one of those things that it's not a nice to have anymore. It is a must-have, because, you know, otherwise your company is going to be left behind, right? And so it's so important for you to start thinking about this right now. Okay. I have just been told that the judges they had a very difficult decision, but they finally have chosen their top 3. But so I kind of want to just wrap things up, right? So Jayantika, looking back on your journey, what piece of advice would you have given to yourself when you were first starting up?
Okay, so when I first started up, I was not a risk taker at all. Like I went with racing because this is something I felt passionately about. But like growing up in an Asian society, and especially being a woman, you are told to go with safe choices. So I would advise like women to take more risk, not be that risk averse. That is number one thing. Second thing is there are always going to be people who are going to be naysayers, like we discussed early on, that you would want to surround yourself with positive people who can criticize you, but also give you solutions and empower you to move forward. So, and yeah, there's always going to be bad days and good days, but just it's a thankless job being an entrepreneur, and it is a hard job. Just keep your mind focused, and you truly believe in the vision, and look for signs, right? That reinforces those beliefs, whether it's customers, whether it's fundraising, whatever it is, right? So those are the feedbacks that validate you're on the right path. So just believe in yourself. Yeah.
So much good stuff here, Jayantika. You know, I think we can chat the whole entire afternoon, but I know that the judges are back. And so everybody's just waiting as well to hear who are top 3 and hear who's going to be representing Cambodia at our Sheila's Tech Global Finals. But thank you so much, Jayantika. That, you know, I couldn't agree with you more on so many of these points. You know, surround yourself with positive people. It's so important. And I do expect your next venture to be a lot more risk-taking than Jayantika.
Thanks, Leanne. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to hear the winners as well.
Great. Okay, I'm going to pass the time back to Pinky.
Hello everyone. How are you? How's everyone doing? I hope you enjoyed the fireside chat with Lian and with Jayantika. I had to be with the judges for a bit, back and forth, but I heard there were so many insightful sharing about life of entrepreneur, how challenging it is, and how much fun it is as well. So now we reach the last portions of our She Loves Tech Cambodia national pitch. I'm kind of rendered a little bit speechless by what just happened in in the judge deliberation room, so I'll apologize. Forgive me for all this stammering. Next up, I would like to invite Kun Paul, who have already been through local round in 3 countries now, including Cambodia, and maybe even more in the previous year, to share with us his remark on behalf of the judges for the pitches that they've seen and how intense it was for them to come up with the 3 winners for Cambodia. Kun Paul, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for sticking with us for the last few hours. I'm going to say that our time in the judges' room and deliberation was incredibly challenging. It was very hard, and I mean that in a good way, because the hallmark of a really, really great pitch competition is when you have a group of really diverse but amazing startups and presentations and entrepreneurs. And then you have a jury panel of very diverse, smart judges, all bringing very different perspectives. So, you throw us all in a room and we're all going to have very strong opinions and preferences for different startups. And so it made for a very, very lively discussion, a lot of interesting insights, and in a lot of ways, some interesting insights about what many of you could be thinking about going forward. So hopefully some of this feedback, sort of gets circulated back to all of the startups competing today. So I will say it was not an easy deliberation because, many of you just have some really, really great presentations and some interesting business plans. But I think we could say that all of us as a group were quite happy, not only with the results, but with all of you. So I hope I hope all of you are super excited about these results, because I think it's a testament to how great this competition was.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for sharing with us what happened in the room. Now, before we announce the winner, I got a special request from Helena that we should take a group picture together. I will stop sharing my screen and ask everybody to turn on their camera and turn on their microphone as well.
Okay.
Helena, could you help us with the selfie, please?
Definitely. Already ready. Hold on. Nora, are you coming in? Sophaline and Kate. And Amarita Mall. Hold on, let me open mine as well. Okay. Got it. Okay. Hold on, we're still missing 2. Also start video, also start video. Okay. Great. Okay, one more. Sophaline Mao. Oh, sorry.
Hi,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm just here at a client office, so I was just talking to a client.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be a really quick one, okay? Everybody, give us your brightest smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. One more time. Let's add in some hand signature, hand sign. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, good, good. Okay, back to the floor. Back to you, Pinky.
Thank you, Helena.
Thank you.
And just before we announce our top 3, could I please have Leanne come on board and share with us what are the prizes that our startup team should be looking forward to and what's next for them?
Great. Okay. So, you know, during my chat with Jayantika, we spoke a lot about the She Loves Tech journey. The winner of Cambodia will represent Cambodia in the She Loves Tech Global Finals and will pitch amongst, you know, the rest of the countries across all these 6 continents. So it's going to be extremely exciting. Also, we have for each of the global finalists, we're going to have a week-long bootcamp where we'll get you and I and Ria and Virginia and the rest of the She Loves Tech team and our experts. And we have such amazing speakers and experts for you this year. Where, you know, this is the first year that we're 100% virtual, but it also means that actually we can reach, you know, some experts that are just on a completely another level, right? So we're very excited. So you'll be spending a whole week with us at our boot camp where we will be speaking to unicorn companies, executives from different unicorn companies in different countries. We'll be having workshops and one-to-one mentoring. It's going to be, as Jayantika has shared earlier, this was really where she, you know, loved the most, and she really, we see each of the finalists grow so much during this week. So we're so excited about that. So also, all of you who are pitching here today in the finals, in the Cambodia finals, will receive each USD $10,000 in AWS credits that is valid for 2 years. You're also going to receive 1 year of business support from AWS and 80 credits for AWS self-paced labs. So for you, those of you who don't know much about AWS, they are Amazon Web Services, and they provide startups with low cost, easy to use infrastructure needed to grow and to scale. And the Activate is a program with resources specially designed to help startups get started on AWS. Also, all of you will receive 30% of E27's Pro membership that gives you access to many of their investor pool. You will also be receiving the winner for today. So our top winner will be receiving a media feature on E27. Also, they will be vying for the top prize of a USD $15,000 equity-free cash prize for our global winner, but we also have a lot, we're now finalizing quite a few more cash prizes, so it's going to be extremely exciting. We also will have very special mentorship prizes with world experts, including Chris Schroeder, Rich Robinson, and you'll be part of our conference. And this year, we have some of the biggest names in the world coming to speak at our conference, and we'll be announcing who they are very, very shortly. So please follow us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on Instagram. Okay, back to you, Pinky.
Thank you, Leanne. Now, without further ado, are you guys excited for the winner reveal?
Yes!
Yeah! Please make sure to have your microphone turned on so that you can cheer along as we announce, or as our judges announce, right? And if you have water, champagne, wine, beer nearby, your snack, bring them close to you. We're gonna need them. Right. Let's the winner reveal begins. Third place winner. So who will be our third place winner? We would like to invite Sophaline to announce the third place winner, please.
Sorry. All right. So sorry, guys. I realized that my computer is dying. Excuse me 1 second. Okay. So the third place winner, so excited, is DataU. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Congratulations, DataU team. We have the team here with us. We have Kari and Yoni. would you like to say a couple of words about how you're feeling right now?
Thank you. We are excited and very happy, and it has been a really great journey, and it was really nice to be part of the competition. Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure how we're putting the video on or not. So yeah, we are super excited, and it was great to be a part of this competition with such amazing candidates and such amazing women who are changing Cambodia, and also be having the judges and your support as well for She Loves Tech team. So we are super excited and grateful, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Faria, Yani, and congratulations again, DataU team. Thank you, Sophaline, for your announcement. Next up, our second place winner, who would that be? I would like to invite Ratana to announce the second place winner, please.
Yeah, I'm very happy, to announce that the second place winner is going to be Peth Yoeung. Peth Yoeung, because you're fulfilling a need in a very difficult sector. You seem to understand very well your market. You delivered consistently, so yeah. So yeah.
Thank you, Ratana. San, are you still here with us? Would you like to say a couple of words?
She's not here.
Could you unmute, please?
I already asked to unmute.
She's here, right?
Yep, she's here. Minsan, you're muted. Yep.
So I repeat again, right? So thank you for the selected and Chatter, and nice to meet you all here. And then yes, and as Peth Yoeung is also have the mission and the vision to also, because Peth Yoeung is one of the first women tech agencies that we try to promote the women in the tech, and we focus on healthcare to help, as we know that life very important. That's why we have Peth Yoeung connect all together. So Tech is the one of that also join in the tech for promote the women. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, Vong. Thank you, Vong. Thank you, Team Peth Yoeung, and congratulations again. Next up is our first place winner. Who would that be? I would like to invite Vong Tean to announce our first place winner, please.
So congratulations to everybody so far and all of the teams for pitching. We are so delighted to announce the winner for the 2020 She Loves Tech competition for Cambodia. So congratulations. Drum roll, please. Smart Farm Assistants, congratulations.
Yay!
Thank you. Elena, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. You see me, right?
Yeah, I see you. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm feeling nervous. For 20 minutes. Oh, thank you. I'm really happy for this winner. And yes, we will try our best to continue our dream to be our agri-tech startup in Cambodia. I want to cry now. So it's really good for us to move forward. Even I don't know what we think that we can use this money, can develop or scale more, and I don't expect it. Thank you so much. I don't have anything to talk more.
Thank you, Sophaline. Congratulations again to you and your team for your hard work. I know you have so much going on in the last couple of months, and you're still showing up every single day and doing the work that you have to do. Thank you so much. Again, congratulations. I want to echo Vong Tean, and congratulations to all of our finalists today. They've done such phenomenal work, and there's such a big progress between when we first met in August. And I know you also had developed new friendship with your mentor. You had enjoyed, exchanging ideas with them. And I hope you continue to forge this relationship and carry it forward. And in my eyes, everybody is a winner today because you actually put yourself out there It is so hard to be in a competition. It is so hard to be in front of the screen and tell people about your dream, about what you want to achieve and what you want to do. And as such, again, congratulations, such great job. We're so proud of you. You're all Wonder Woman. And our team from She Love Tech will be in touch with all of our finalists and our winner to for the next step, what's coming up, right? And if you are attending today's session and feel that this is fun, then we would love to invite you to continue following us with the upcoming rounds all around the world. We have 2 more weeks left until all the local rounds conclude, I believe, and the top 10, the top 30 winners, including Sophaline representing Cambodia, will go to compete in the global round. And you can find out more information about all of these rounds on She Love Tech Facebook page and website. We cannot do this without our partners, She Love Tech, the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, Ministry of Economy and Finance, Khmer Enterprise, Global Shaper Community, who've been working tirelessly in the last 3 months with Team Raintree. I still reminisce our late night work and weekend meetings. So thank you again, especially Wanit and Ratsmai for putting all your best into this work. And we thank 606 and our partner Focus Cambodia for making this event happen and making people aware of what we're doing here in Cambodia and pushing the agendas of moving women into the formal sectors and empowering women in tech forward. Thank you so much. And please stay in touch with Raintree and with She Love Tech. And again, thank you to all of our mentors and judges for being so generous with their times and their insight and feedback. We love you all, and let's look forward and cheer our team forward in the global startup competition. Thank you. And now I would like to conclude the Cambodia national pitch. Thank you so much and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice day.
Have a great Friday night.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Yeah, have a great weekend, Bong. We have to catch up. Bye-bye, Bong. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye, Bong Tean, Bong Ratana, Paul. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Leanne. Bye, Helena. Bye, Ria.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.